beautiful people. You're welcome to another beautiful edition of Groove and Grit with Shelter Group Limited. My name is Dami, and today we are going to be having some hot topics that centers around real estate. And I'm sure there are actually questions that you've always had in your mind as well. And today we are going to be doing justice, to those wonderings in your mind, to those questions. And with me today to shed light to this question is
Mr. Gospel. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Kingsley. I'm happy to be here.
My name is Mr. Anthony Lemononilo. I'm happy to be here on this edition.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have you as well, and it's my pleasure to be here. So, like I mentioned earlier in the introduction, we are going to be talking about topics, and today I'm going to be standing or sitting, as the case may be, as a representative for everybody who will be watching us, and they will have a lot of questions in their head, like, oh, what is this about real estate? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to know so that I can be better informed? And so to open on that note, so the first question I'm going to be asking my friends here and my colleagues is, even as an individual myself, one of the big questions around real estate that actually keeps popping in my head is, what are those things or those factors that actually inform the appreciation of real estate or land? And I will explain. Many of us, sometimes we've met people that would say, oh, 2 years ago, or let me put a date to it. In 2015, I bought a plot of land. It was just 1.5 million or 2 million. And 5 years down the line, it is selling for 25 million or 30 million. And I'm like, is that a witchcraft? What's happening? What actually? So I would like to know, so that other people will know as well. What are those things, those factors that actually, inform such astronomical increase? Shall I start with you, Mr. Gospel?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Dami. One of the factors that necessitates that spontaneous increase in value for real estate is infrastructural development.
Okay.
10 years ago, let me use that as 10 years ago, Uye was not like the way you use. Uye is actually in the FCT, Abuja. So Uye was not like the way you see it now.
Okay.
It was sold at a giveaway price, but right now that district is something else. The prices are going up. So it was as a result of the bridge that was connecting the area 7 to down to here that brought about the development, and also the infrastructure within that caused that spontaneous increase in value.
Okay.
Of property within that place.
Okay, so talking about, I actually want to add I'm not adding something, but I want to build on something there. You said infrastructural development actually increases, gives rise to the this astronomical increase in the value of a land. So, are you saying, let's say a group of people, I don't know if this is feasible, like I'm a newbie in real estate, like I mentioned, I'm actually, I'm representing people who might be looking to invest in real estate. So are you saying let's say a group of people, they decided to maybe buy a piece of land, maybe a large expanse of land, can they by themselves? Let's say me, you, we have money, Mr. Kingsley, Mr. Anthony, we have a group of friends who have money, and we decide to buy a large expanse of land at a giveaway price, and we develop the place by ourselves as private citizens. Maybe you can mention something about a bridge in Wuye, and we build a bridge or we did something. Can we privately by ourselves influence the increase in value of such an area?
Let me speak to that. I think that what you're saying here is basically a situation where infrastructure that Mr. Gospel talked about is government.
Oh, okay.
So when government begins to build roads or bridges or other kinds of infrastructure in an environment, what happens is that that infrastructure development brings about development in that area or increase in value of properties in that area.
Okay.
However, the other factors again could also be private activities of private individuals. Right? Economic activities around that area can also increase the value of properties in that area. Now, I'll give you an example where it's just basically a question of demand and supply.
Okay.
All right. When demand for a particular thing is high and the supply is limited, we know that land is limited in supply, and the supply is limited. What will happen is that it always tends to go up in value. Now, when people begin to rush into areas, for instance, I'll give an example. It's not really, it's in my head. Let's say everybody's now talking about Kuje. The moment people start talking about Kuje, everybody's going to say, I'm going to buy land in Kuje. The moment the demand for that goes up, the value begins to go up as well. And the more people that come to buy or to build in a particular place attracts more people. So when people see that, somebody is already living here, they now know that they can also, build and live there as well. So those are some of the factors that affect the value of properties.
Okay. To add to what he said, actually, to make it more clearer, the movement of people, the mass movement of people to a particular location as well, also cause the property's value to skyrocket.
Okay.
That's population growth.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that actually now takes me to the next question because I have zero knowledge. So, in that case, you've been in this industry for a couple of years, so you must have seen a lot of things, even if you are not actively, let's say, collecting data, but from your naked eyes, from the things you've seen, from interactions, what is the biggest percent change in the property you've seen? Like let's say, buying a plot of land for 1 million and 5 years after it's selling for 150 million. And what's the biggest astronomical change you've seen in the value of a property, considering your years of experience in this industry?
I think we started
I want to speak in that regard. Okay. Looking at, I'll give you examples of places that I've seen in this Abuja developed. I will take you to the first place. Look at Lokogoma Axis. When the former minister of FCT, the former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, was the minister of FCT, Lokogoma, if you are given a land in Lokogoma free of charge, you will not take. It's a thick, dark forest. And immediately he came with the acceleration plan and all of that and started giving land to developers, and people invaded that place. People were buying plot of land in those places for 200,000, 100,000 naira.
Okay.
I can give you examples of estates like Kopa Kubana Estate, which I'm very close to the developer of that estate. And some other ones that are there, like iPent and all of those estates. In that place now, you cannot get a plot of land for 100 million.
Whoa.
A complete 5-bedroom duplex there is going for hundreds of millions.
Whoa.
And it's just a space of 2000 and maybe 3, 4, 5 to today. So that is why you see that when they talk about investment in real estate, we're talking about Kuje now, and the people are looking at Kuje prison. That is a popular name for Kuje. Once you say you're going to Kuje, they say it's prison. Today, people are getting plots for Kuje 5 million, 6 million, 7 million. Once the infrastructure there are completed, it will shock you that the same plot of land, like in my own estate where I stay in Kuje, you cannot get a house, 2-bedroom there for less than 25 million. That is, you don't own a compound to yourself. It's just like a terrace kind of building. You are up, the next man is down, and each is going for 25 million kakas. This same house was sold 3 years ago for 9 million. You understand? So this is the difference. That is number one. Number two, look at the Asokoro, Busape. As of 2007, 2008, Busape, lands were selling for 5 million, 10 million. Seems a lot of money. But today, a 350 square meter in Busape, you will beg with your 400 million, you will not get it.
Whoops.
Because of the level of development, infrastructure that came into the place and all of that. So we have places like that that are coming up, like the Busape 2 that we talk about now, and they're selling for 50, 40 million. Give it the next 3 to 4 years, and the infrastructures are done. You will begin to hear 300 million, 400 million. Jahi is another place also you can think about. A lot of places like that in town.
So I want us to relate to something that happened. You told me this story about our property in Piakasa or Kuje, that somebody paid for a property, and in 2 weeks you are seeing that the property has doubled in, and so he's now asking, what was he asking? No, please remember the story you told me, right? One of our estates.
Okay. A client bought a property property at one of our sites, and he bought like 4 plots. And after paying, I think 1.5, and after the fencing and the clearing, and people start rushing. In 2 months' time, he now called.
2 weeks.
He now called and was like, okay, I have a friend of mine that wants to buy as well. How much is this property? We started telling him that the plot of land there is 15 million. He was like, I don't understand. What about my plot? Is it still the 1.5 or so? And I said, sir, calculate 15 million times how many you have. That is what is the worth of the property.
No.
He said, I cannot believe it. That is the only, and not only that, another customer of ours, or most of all these testimonials are actually captured in most of our online. So you can go to Shelter Grove TV on YouTube, and you can see most testimonial of this. And on our Facebook channel and Instagram, you can get all of that. The man bought at 800,000. Yes, 800,000 in Piakasa, one of our sites in Piakasa. And after 2-3 years, they were begging him to sell at 10 million. In fact, last year, end of the year,
800%.
he came to the podium and said that that was the first investment that turned his perception about real estate around.
The interesting thing is that the real estate market always outperforms the money markets, the stock exchange, even in the shortest period of time.
Exactly.
Because the gains people have, I mean, it's mind blowing. In 2 weeks, you can actually see 80% increase in the value. So, I mean, when it blows, it blows. That's the thing about real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then a follow-up question to that.
Okay.
Mr. Anthony mentioned something about is it Lokogoma?
Yes.
Yes, like to us, even if they give you the land for free, you wouldn't take it.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, as somebody who is, just stepping into real estate, I want to make investments for the future. You never know which area would blow up. Okay. Are there some pointers or some things I could look out for as a potential investor? Like, okay, this place might look like a jungle now, but come back in 10 years, it's going to be a big city. I'm sure there are some places that would never blow up. Or are there? Don't let me make assumptions here.
This is actually FCT.
Yeah.
Federal Capital Territory.
Okay.
You just
Never
like
can
the
tell.
Bible says, cast your bread upon many waters, for you shall find it after many days. Investment is like putting up the mind for risk.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the difference between an average man, an astounding man, and a successful man.
Okay.
Because
Makes sense.
the successful man, what's the difference between a successful man and a striving to succeed man is that a successful man engages in a lot of risk.
Okay.
Kuje, right now, we are shouting like the voice in the wilderness. Come and buy Kuje. Come and buy Kuje. Buy Kuje, buy Piakasa at this point. Buy also Buzape 2 at this point. Because, trust me, you see these 3 locations that we're talking about, at least with your few millions, you can see it now.
Okay, it's giving you expo.
Yes,
you've singled out 3 locations.
So, now, the truth of the matter is that most of the times you cannot know what you don't know because the future is hidden in a code of information. If you're not informed, you're totally deformed.
Exactly.
And how do you get information? Go to the right source. The people that it is their business, the consultants of Shelter Grove Limited, they will guide you. Contact us. We are there. That's our job. To scout out those locations, those hidden gems in this real estate investment that will blow your portfolio to skyrocket.
Your portfolio.
Work with these 3 locations first, Kuje, Piakasa, and Buzape 2. And you will thank us for that. And mind you are still buying it at an affordable price. Thank you.
In respect to that revocation issue, it's not even about use, the purpose of use.
Sometimes
this ground rent Some people ignore it, which I know
Exactly.
many Nigerians do not pay.
So
They don't comply.
Let's now
So
go.
when you don't comply with the rules that guides the tenancy, even the house you are renting, you have a tenancy agreement that you sign. So if you don't follow the process and the rules that guides the tenancy, it can be revoked.
So the land rent is to be paid like every month, every
It's
year,
yearly.
every 10
It's
years.
It's an annual
It's
payment.
annually.
It's
And
an
it's a
annual
stipend
payment.
too.
Oh, okay.
And it's a stipend. It's just a very little percentage of what you got.
Stipend is relative.
For
yeah.
No. For instance,
Is it a markup or a percentage of the value?
It's just like a way of generating revenue.
No, is it a percentage of
For
the
the
value
government.
of
Yes,
the
a
property?
very little percentage
Like-
trust me, there are some
of
properties
the value
that I've seen
that you pay.
15 naira as their
Grand rent, yes.
Grand rent.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
15 naira.
And depends on the location of the property
In this
also.
I said
Of
some
course.
documents
In
I have
this
seen.
case, is it or what is your or what you end up paying? No, what you see
No,
on
no,
documents
If
is what you end up paying.
if it is accumulated.
In this 2025,
No,
15 naira
it's-
settlement
it's-
rate. No, I'm asking
I'm talking
because
about grand rent.
Grand rent.
okay, not in a ground rent.
It's grand rent.
It's grand rent. So it's different.
It's
So-
different.
So please, let
I've seen in Katampe a plot of about
let the public not ignore most of all these
These
things
names.
in their
30
You
hectares.
should pay for
They should
The
pay.
grand rent.
Pay.
Okay.
The government
After
needs
long
to-
accumulation was about 1 point something million.
You see,
Okay. Okay, so
over a long period of time.
Time.
Yes. So it's,
Ignorant.
Okay.
So your parents might be handing you over to a land that have accrued a lot of debt without you knowing.
yes.
So,
Oh, okay.
go
Because
check.
we don't
so
fact
they are
check.
in their mind they think you are leaving you an inheritance, but
Lack of
it's actually
An
debt.
enlightenment.
It's actually an inheritance. In fact, you know the truth of the matter is that one of the best assets someone can leave to their offspring is real estate.
Yes.
Because just like gold, you know, other kinds of asset classes might have dips, depreciation in value.
Of course. Of
But
course.
gold never goes down in
down,
value.
yeah.
Real estate never goes down in value, especially land.
Yeah.
All right. So when you now build on top of that land, you multiply the value
Value.
of that land by like 100 or 1,000 if you like.
Okay.
So talking about that, so that's one of the best things people can leave for their children. So one of the reasons to invest in real estate today is for your children's future.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. But I have a question, and I'm going back to the topic of revocation. And from the discussion we've had, I think we're able to point to two reasons for revocation. I'm going to mention them. The first one is government interest on the land,
Yeah.
and the second one is landowners defaulting on whatever.
rent.
Are there any other things that could actually bring about revocation? Please,
yes.
can we
The
have
things
them?
could
Please,
also
they need to
be-
know.
Could also be because the process through which the land was acquired in the first place was faulty.
Yes.
For
Inappropriate.
instance, there are real estate. There are people who go about selling properties that do not have the right. They do not have the right to sell.
Okay.
There are people who are also signing off on property sales that do not have the authority to sign on those documents.
Okay.
There are people who are carrying fake documents, forged documents, and presenting to unsuspecting citizens.
Yes.
And using that as a medium to sell properties that do not really exist
Okay.
in the government database. So that's another area
Yeah,
where people
okay.
can also have their property
Revoked.
revoked.
Okay.
And to add to what he said, for the people buying from states, some people don't know that in the document you are going to be issued,
Yeah.
there is a very sensitive document that is called governor's consent.
Yes.
A lot
Yes.
of people don't know this, and
Yes.
they buy land from states without requesting for
The governor's
the
consent.
governor's consent. With that, you stand to be revoked.
Okay. Now, I think you've done justice to the question of revocation, and I'm sure people would understand and they would know this, and of course they will avoid all those things. Now, one thing I want to go back to, one factor I want to go back to is
There's something that we miss. Sorry to cut you short.
okay. Yeah, please.
We mentioned it here, but we need to also highlight it. When the use of a property,
It's
the
inappropriate.
approved use of a property is violated,
Yeah.
that can also lead to.
Yeah. I think we mentioned we talked about
in
that.
your recap, I want you to.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But in some cases,
That could be a
you can
change.
actually apply for a change of
Yes.
purpose.
Okay.
Of
Okay.
use, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You
That.
can- so get that. If the land you are being allocated is commercial, you can actually still apply for a change
change.
before you work on it.
Like for instance, why I say this is like in Lagos State, for instance, some properties were demolished because it was discovered that they were sitting on waterways,
Okay.
Yeah.
on refuse,
Of course.
Drainage.
on drainage. Somebody
channels.
approved that allocation, right? And we found out that those properties were demolished eventually. So there is a mix of some. So the best thing for one to do is to, first of all, the source where you get your land purchase
Yeah.
is important.
Yeah.
Very
You have to
important.
go to a trusted real estate company that has integrity, that has the competence, that has the capacity to be able to guide you, give you all the necessary information, all the necessary support. And I think that's one of the things we do best here at Shelter Group.
Okay.
All right. We've never recorded any single incident of somebody buying property through us, and at the end of the day, there was some sort of controversy around it.
Okay.
So your source of buying property
Matters.
is very, very, it's as important as the property
Property
itself.
itself.
Yeah.
Buying.
Okay, please, I want to go back again because this is a learning session. I want to go back again, to the factors that can lead to relocation. And that one, it's usually on the tenant or on the landowner. But the one on government interest, let's say for the purposes of urban planning or expansion. So in a case whereby the government, has an interest in the land, just for instance, they want to expand, urban planning and all of that. What happens to me as the owner of that? You approved it. So
Okay.
what happened? What happens? Sorry.
What happened in such scenario is that the people who are there, because the document you have is from the government, you have nothing to fear, but a little discomfort because there is going to be a sort
Relocating
of compensation or relocation.
A sort.
Yeah.
Or definite.
Definitely, they are
Okay.
going to do that.
Okay.
Because you have a government document that is genuine.
Okay.
You understand? It's not like maybe you acquire it from one chief or the other baggy kind of land.
Okay.
So you are secured. You have nothing to fear about that. So it will be according to this. Government has the right to redesign and design again. I've
Okay.
seen so many layouts that have been redesigned. You understand? So if development is already there, maybe a road or a railway station or something is coming to where you are, you'll be appropriately relocated or compensated. So it is not.
And if the government fails to do that, you can actually sue the
Yeah,
government.
go to
and
court.
win. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
you go to
have we had
Because-
cases like that in Nigeria?
Yes,
here?
Of course, we have.
Okay.
A lot of that. Because the documents that you have, that's why I say the source.
Source is important.
Good.
Yeah.
If you go through
That
the
makes
right
sense.
source, you end up with the right documents. Now, you cannot present that document from the government and they will deny it.
Okay.
You
Okay.
understand?
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
that's yes.
Okay, okay, that's interesting. Okay, now to wrap up this, this round of questions. So, as I've understood it, you actually have a right of occupancy
Yeah,
sorry,
ROFO.
for 99 years.
Yes.
So after 99 years, whoever you bequeath the property to has a right to renew, and it keeps going on and until you have what we call ancestral land. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So this is going to be a wrap for today's section, and I'm very sure that many of my questions were answered. I'm sure yours were as well, and we are going to be having more sessions like this. We implore that you stay tuned on our channel. If you have more questions or things you would like to know, of course, interact with us in the comment section. Subscribe, follow, and share. And of course, we'll do justice to your questions in our next session. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.